Hey, Jimmy, guess what?
What?
We're doing snail mail.
Snail mail.
Woo! Welcome, everybody. This is snail mail for Friday. Happy Friday, everybody out there. Let's see. What do we got going on today, man? Anything outrageous? Anything crazy, noteworthy?
Voicemails.
Voicemails, we do have a lot of them.
Do we?
Yeah.
How many are we up to?
43.
43.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, that's what that means?
That's 4, right? Yeah.
That was
43.
Yeah, it's 43.
So we only gained 3 last week because didn't we get up to 40?
I thought we were at like 42 last week.
No, we were at like 48.
48?
And we did it like 8 to get us up to 40.
So nobody called in?
And we got 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool. Yeah, sure.
Okay. You're confusing.
You're confusing me. I don't remember the historical stuff.
How many do we have?
43.
Okay.
43.
Yeah.
Plus 2 text messages.
Okay.
So
yeah,
44.
text messages are like the way to cheat the system, I guess.
Yeah, but they're time stamped, date stamped. So I know when they texted, and we will get to those in line. You can't jump the line with text messages, people.
We'll just forget to go and look at the text message.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, we got through 7 last time.
I had to scroll down like 7 screens to get to the bottom of the fucking list. All right. First up here.
All right. Number 1
is Stephen Morgan.
Steve from Oregon.
Steve from
Jeff
Oregon.
from
I thought it was
Oregon.
Jeff from Oregon too. It says Stephen.
All right. We'll find out.
There we go.
Hey, it's Jeff from Morgan, talking about axles again. You finally get into some of my voicemails I see. Yeah, so we're going to talk about the Tundra 10-inch, which I'm not going to go into too much detail because Tyler went on and on about how great it is and actually kind of sold me on this, that if there was a little bit more aftermarket support for this, this would be a really good option for a lot of people. The biggest problem I have with it is 36-inch or 36 spline shafts. So it's kind of this weird, funky axle shaft that only Toyota uses. And then you'd have to buy different side gears for like an ARB to get to 35 spline. In the race car stuff, I've heard of people going to the 1.6-inch 37 spline stuff, but the bearing on the end of it isn't big enough to go to 40 spline. I think if you could get 40 spline stuff stuffed in it, in my opinion, this is my opinion, 10-inch and above ring and pinion, you start needing to go to a 40 spline shaft or 1550 U-joint. Anything below a 10-inch, you can get away with 1480 and 35 spline shafts. That's kind of like the cutoff for me. So 10-inch ring and pinion, you need to start looking at 40 spline stuff. Not necessarily, but good idea. And the ring and pinions on these were like stupid expensive for a long time, and you could only get to like 488. They started making 529 now in, you know, fabricated housings and stuff, and then you could put whatever outers you want on it for a front axle, but I don't think this is that bad of an axle. The pinion isn't that low compared to like a 9-inch. You know, so Tyler didn't do something completely stupid. But yeah, this axle's decent. So anyways, yeah, Land Rovers suck, and that's it. All right, bye.
I still think I did something completely stupid.
Yeah,
I could have built an axle way easier, Jeff.
Jeff, don't toot his horn over here. Let him think he's an idiot, so he can still be an idiot.
I will say it was fun figuring out how to do what I wanted to do with that. But I could have had just as good of an axle up in a third the amount of time. It took me 3 years to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that is interesting that you're cut off. I actually really like that idea of if it's below a 10-inch ring gear, you should, 35 splines are a good idea. If it's above a 10-inch ring gear, 40 splines are good. That's a good rule of thumb, a good way to look at it. And then, yeah, the Tundra one does have 36 splines, which nobody else has.
Count. Yeah. It's so weird that I had to supply the side gears off of an ARB, Toyota ARB, Tundra ARB to Brannick so that they could have a template to cut 36 spline Toyota shafts. So Brannick didn't even have the template for them. But yeah, it's just a weird thing. It's pretty much the equivalent of a 35 spline. You have one more spline in there, so you could argue that it's a stronger engagement, but the diameter of the shaft is 1/100th of an inch smaller on the Toyota 36 spline versus your 35 spline typical.
Really?
Yeah, Dana axle shaft. So the 35 spline GM USA shaft is a 1.5 inch diameter. The Toyota one is 1.49 inch essentially. Right. Yeah.
So they took the GM one and just shaved it down a hair and added another spline. Called it Toyota.
Yep. Yeah, the other big issue, like I think that this axle, the rear Tundra axle with that 10.5 inch ring gear, would have done a lot better if they had made it full float.
Sure.
If they'd made it a full float axle, I think more people would have looked at it in the first place rather than skipping over it and just not even looking at the other parts of it. Because it's semi-float, I don't think it really had got that much adoption from the aftermarket support. But if you look at just that dropout third member and the shit you can do with it, once you start looking at aftermarket parts, all you need are custom shafts, and then everything else is kind of available. You just have to be able to convert from that weird 36 spline Toyota to whatever outer you want to do. Or like Jeff said, you could put that the ARB side gears in a replace, and you have to use an ARB locker. Then you're tied to an ARB locker, which worse things have happened. But you could get new side gears, put those in, and then you can do 35 spline with the 10.5 inch Toyota ring gear.
Right. But are you still going to need to get a custom shaft because
no, not unless you need a custom length.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you wanted to do a basic 35 spline Sterling axle shaft or something, or 35 spline 14 bolt shaft.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a fabricated housing at that point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting third member for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has a lot of perks. Like it's almost a centered pinion, which
you get very little deflection then.
Yeah. Little deflection. It's a third member. So it's nice to be able to pull the whole mechanism out and be able to swap really easily. And I do think it is growing in aftermarket support, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to where it's the 60s or a 9 inches.
Yeah. Yep. So I actually really like, since new things have come out, I think my favorite option right now is the dropout, fabricated dropout third with, the 10.5 inch Sterling gears.
Yeah.
In them.
That'd be nuts.
The machined, the
sounds
billet
really
third.
cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Right. The ring gear is only like $300-$400, ring and pinion.
Yeah. And the billet third member.
The billet third member might be like $8,000 or $9,000.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Jeff, for calling.
Yep.
All your wisdom and knowledge and your opinions. I appreciate it.
Next up is somebody we just talked about yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Mr. Speggiti.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Speggiti here. I was calling about November 3rd, Monday's episode. You guys were doing the snail trail episodes. You guys were talking about oil changes. One of the companies to be really good to get a hold of, maybe even get on a podcast, is Blackstone Laboratories. I called about a while ago. I know Ultra4 Jones has done this. They test your oil, and they pretty much have debunked all myths about how long you can do an oil. Time means nothing. Jimmy, you mentioned you want to do a 2-year oil test. Blackstone Joe is the guy. He has a podcast, and it debunks pretty much everything that's out there. They eat, sleep, breathe everything with oil. You can send in your oil samples to them. And I think it's like $35. You can send in your oil samples. They'll test it. They'll test the metals that are in there, everything that's in there. They'll even tell you much longer you can go and everything with the oil. So you guys might want to reach out to them and see if you can get them on the podcast. That would blow pretty much everyone's mind listening to it. But like I said, Blackstone Laboratory is the company. I think they're out of Indiana or something like that. So keep calling. Bye.
I'm interested.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fun one to chat with.
We haven't gotten nerdy with oil in a long time.
No, we haven't. It's been a while for sure. Yeah, and you made me think I need to do Clifford's oil change here soon, and maybe I'll just send a sample out to them because embarrassingly, it's been too long, and I need to get that taken care of. So I might just get a sample and send it out and just have them test it to see what it's like, see what they say. So that could be fun. And I do agree that I think they would be a fantastic host or guest for the show.
Yep.
So we will do that.
Blackstone Joe, we're giving you a call. Next up is Sid from Idaho. Here we go.
Hey, this is Sid from Idaho. First time caller, long time listener. Calling about the flat rate relates you guys were talking about earlier. Each manufacturer sets their own labor times, whether it's engineers or like techs at the factories, and they all do the same jobs with the tools and everything set out, but they take their time so they can do it right. I don't necessarily agree with all the way that they set the rate rates. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. But you know, it just boils down to when techs do it multiple times over, do the same jobs, they find tips and tricks on how to do it faster. And that's how they make their money. Because a lot of places, dealerships especially, they pay just flat rate, no hourly rates, no nothing. And so they want to make as much money as they obviously can. And that's why dealerships are hard up for techs these days. But, you know, they don't adjust the rate rates in the books because lower private shops and stuff, you know, they don't do those jobs multiple times over like dealership techs do. So that's why they don't adjust the labor rates. You know, the only time it's really different is when you're at a dealership and its warranty time pays less than the hourly rates would do. So, yeah. I'm sure you guys opened a whole can of worms with this one. Now all the techs are going to call in and it's going to be just like the trailer ratings all over again. Keep growing.
Thanks, Sid. Sid is the first one to call in about that. So
yeah, you are. I did have a few Instagram messages in regards to it.
Okay.
Yeah, just people explaining more or less what Sid said about how it is. I did have somebody say that when the first time when they're doing the figuring out the hourly or the time that it's going to take and set the time, that they only use hand tools. Also, what? Yeah. And so then when somebody, the next time somebody does it somewhere else, you know, they're probably going to use some power tool.
Yeah.
And that's going to speed everything up from there. So,
a lot.
And as Sid said that they take their time to do it right. Well, taking their time to do it right isn't actually how fast somebody is working when they're doing it. So I do know that when I was talking to First Gen Mike and we were talking about, you know, changing out my CVs on the Tacoma and everything, he was telling me that he could do the power steering rack on a Tacoma. He could do it like 4 times faster than what they suggest the hourly rate is from the factory. And because he knows a trick that's like, they suggest like removing the whole bottom half of the truck, the subframe, so that you can access the rack. And he's like, you don't have to do that. But if you undo one of the engine mounts and press the engine up, it gives you enough room. So it's like, I don't have to do all these steps they suggest.
Yeah.
I got around it by doing this other thing.
Yeah. So I'm curious if rates ever adjust over time, or if when they set the rate that very first time at the manufacturer, is that what it is for the life of that vehicle, those parts?
Probably. That's my guess.
My guess too. And I'm like, I think that they should be reevaluated over time and definitely done with power tools. Cause I mean, who in their right mind as a professional mechanic is going to do everything with hand tools?
Not professional, I guess. I'm raising my hand over here.
If you did it for a living, Jimmy, would you use only hand tools?
No.
Exactly.
No, I would not.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that I understand why it's done. And I think it's cool that it helps encourage techs to figure out clever solutions for getting things done, as long as it stays done properly. You're not skipping corners to make a shoddy job, right?
Yeah.
But if you can replace a Tacoma steering rack by pushing the engine up rather than replacing the whole subframe, good on you. You should be rewarded for that.
Mm-hmm. And you are.
And you are by that, but by a 4X?
Because, well, you can get 4 of them done in a day where it maybe was going to take you one day. So you make 4 times the money.
I know, exactly.
So you
4X,
are getting rewarded.
But 4X?
Yeah.
At what point is your reward now taking advantage of consumers?
Yeah. I don't have that answer, but you would think that at some point that they could reevaluate it once they notice that a specific job is taking employees like half the time than it actually
have
says.
some sort of reporting system to update the labor hours and books. Like, I still think that techs should be rewarded, incentivized to get a job done quickly.
Sure.
But 4X is a lot, man. That's like maybe I might be okay with 2X.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the cutoff line would be. Like, I don't think that techs shouldn't be rewarded for doing things quickly. But at the same time, at what point is it extortion at that point?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and then on the flip side, then you have people not taking their vehicles to the dealerships because of the exorbitant rates and pricing that they charge.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I'm not going to take my vehicle to go or to the Tacoma to go to the Toyota's dealership to get the steering rack replaced because it's going to cost so much money when I could take it down the road and it would cost less.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at some point, it's let the consumer choose then also, right? So
yeah, but almost all mechanic shops are going off labor rates though, by the book rate.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but I don't think mechanics, like a mechanic shop, just your Joe Schmo or on the corner store, is going off of what Toyota says how long it takes to change a steering rack. My guess is they're just sort of charging you hourly rates. Like our shop rate is $45 an hour or $80 an hour. And we'll see how long this takes us. We think it's going to take 4 hours.
Okay. Maybe I go to weird shops. I feel like every time you get a quote, because I'm pretty sure it's legal, they have to give you a quote of how much it's going to cost.
Sure.
An estimate. Because you have to sign that.
Yeah.
Before you leave your vehicle with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
The question is where does Joe Schmo Auto Repair get his quotes? How does he get his quote?
Good question.
That's the next question.
Yeah. Who knows?
Sid.
We want to know. Sid, call back.
Sid,
All right, next up.
Yeah.
Jeremiah in Atlanta. Does Richard have a new friend?
No, maybe.
First time caller. So yeah, it might be a Jeremiah. Right. Here we go.
What's going on, fellas? This is Jeremiah in Atlanta. I am a long-time listener. My first time caller. I wanted to call because I wanted to respond to that episode, the SnailMail episode, called something like "My Pocket Rocket is one size smaller than yours," or something like that. You all were responding to Richard in Atlanta. Shout out Richard. And how he was talking about crazy parkers and drivers and stuff, and you were talking about that Jeep that was in the middle of the road or something, and you were wondering if people do crazy stuff like that in Atlanta, which tells me you've never driven Atlanta. In Atlanta, we have two motor speedways. We got Echo Park Motor Speedway, and we also have Interstate 75. Basically, on Interstate 75, if you're going less than 85, you got to stay off the 75. In fact, I don't know if they allow Jeeps on Interstate 75. They might have to go over to the demolition derby that we call 285 or something like that. In fact, I am currently stuck in traffic right now, probably because someone left their Jeep running on the freeway or something like that. But yeah, if it involves driving and being crazy, it's Atlanta, for real. But anyway, I just wanted to tell y'all, you're awesome. Finally got up the courage to call in, let you know I really appreciate your programming. One beef I do have, though, is you somehow think there's an extra H in the word height. Height, not height. But you're still awesome. All right. Till next time. Keep crawling.
Height. I say height.
That's the extra H.
So that's the extra. Isn't it spelled Height? Oh, height.
What is your height?
Yeah.
Or height?
What is your height?
Yeah.
That sounds weird to me.
It's the California slur.
Right? Valley boy.
He should have really grown up in San Francisco, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey. No, that'd be like, what's your hate?
Yeah. What's your hate?
Oh, too good, man.
Jeremiah, man, thanks for calling. That was hilarious. I have had one short stint of driving around in Atlanta where, I'm blanking on his name. The gentleman that drives the really nice FJ80, like metallic green FJ80, met up with my wife and I when we were going to Ireland, and we had that like 12-hour layover in Atlanta. And he came and picked us up from the airport. We drove around for a few hours. He took us, we went out to dinner. We bought his dinner, and then we ended up going back to the airport to catch our flight. Anyways, that was it. That was my only stint of driving around Atlanta, but it sounds like a fun place to drive around from the way you're making it sound.
I want to go drive on the Demolition Derby road.
Yeah. I want to bring a Jeep out there and watch it get demolished. I think that sounds fun.
That's funny.
But I do know, I mean, Atlanta's the South, and the South has some fun things, and the car cultures are really big down in that area. So I can believe that from mile to wild, Atlanta has got it.
Yeah. Cool, man. Thanks for calling in, Jeremiah. Looking forward to hearing from you again in the future.
Yeah, please do.
Next up, Welds Taco.
Welds Taco?
Yeah.
All right. Rob.
Yeah. Let's see what Rob's been up to.
Hey, Jimmy, Tyler, Robert, Welds Taco. I don't want to beat a dead horse about this camping, glamping thing, but I believe it's a combination of your amenities, sleeping arrangement, and location. You can bring a car with minimal sleeping stuff, sleeping bag, tent, to a KOA campground, and that's glamping. You can bring an RV in the middle of the desert. That's still glamping. It's location, amenities, and sleeping your location, right? If you bring that car middle of nowhere with just a tent and a sleeping bag, and you got your cell phone, I feel like that's camping. If you bring your RV to a KOA, obviously that's glamping. So I think it's a combination of stuff. But if you bring your car and a bunch of crap, you've got a big screen TV or a projector going in the middle of nowhere, that's going to be glamping. So don't want to beat a dead horse. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Keep rolling.
All right, let's beat some dead horses here.
All right, let's do it.
So what is the difference on amenities then? I mean, you can say it's a difference of location, amenities, and sleeping arrangement.
Okay.
So then what items within those categories make you over the line of glamping versus camping?
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, if you have a TV with you,
yeah,
I feel like you're glamping.
Okay. Even if it's like a small little portable TV, what if it's just your phone? Like,
no. See, a phone, I think you can't. I don't think phone it should be in the discussion.
Okay.
Because pretty much no matter what, you're going to have your phone. Everybody has a phone, right? So it's not maybe that is sort of the line. Everybody has a phone.
Okay.
So it can't be camping or glamping because whatever one you have, you're going to have it. Like even when I go out backpacking, I'll just turn my phone off. I don't leave it in the car.
Yeah.
Right. I throw it in the backpack, but the phone's off. It's in the backpack. I still have my phone in case of emergency. So I think like a universal item or an item that everybody has, I guess a universal item.
Yep.
I don't think we can count that as one or the other. It's
okay. What about a tablet or laptop?
Yeah. So that I would go glamping.
Go glamping at that point?
Yeah. Cause you're not going to I would feel that you're not taking your tablet unless you're a child out to camp.
Okay.
Unless you need to entertain the child.
Now, I was going to say, now having a tablet to entertain the child is still camping, but a tablet for yourself is glamping.
Sure.
So now we have age as one of the categories.
Yeah. Well, and maybe that's still, it's just glamping in general there. Yeah. It's like, because I feel that the kid should be out playing with rocks and sticks and dirt. Yeah. And throwing things and guns. And guns and fire and hatchets and knives, right?
Gasoline.
Yeah, all the above, but not on their tablet. Yeah. But so I would argue that just having a tablet in general is glamping.
Okay. What about so a car in a KOA would be glamping. A car in the middle of a desert would be camping.
And is it glamping because it's at a KOA? It's at a campground.
That's what it made it sound like.
It has like restrooms and stuff. So therefore it's glamping because you got an actual flushing toilet.
Yeah, flushing toilet. Maybe. Like, is it you're connected to the grid?
Yeah.
Is glamping now, but then RVs in the middle of the hammers.
Yeah, are not
Johnson Valley are not connected to the grid. So are you glamping if you're in an RV in the middle of a desert lake bed?
Yes.
You are glamping.
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, fun. I'm trying to be facetious.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I think it's location based and like material items based. But I've said it a while ago. I don't know if it was before Rob called in or not. I think camping is the umbrella. I like this idea better. That there's many levels of camping. Camping is the general term.
Okay.
Of what, like, are you out car camping? Are you out glamping? Are you out backpacking? Are you out, whatever other version of camping that you're doing? Yeah. It all fits underneath camping.
Yeah.
That's my argument nowadays.
I kind of like that. I think we did come to that conclusion on a previous snail mail, and I still think I like that one best.
Yeah.
So,
because I don't think you can how do you classify camping? What is camping?
Yeah.
Like, I think they're all
everything kind of falls under as camping. Yeah.
And that's the hard part of what we're trying to figure out. Like, what is camping? Like, is camping at a KOA? Well, yeah, but you're camping there, but it's glamping.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that's not, then if it's glamping, it's not camping.
Yeah.
Right. So are you camping when you have your backpack and you're hiking miles out into the wilderness? Yeah, but you're also backpacking.
Yeah.
You're not, so it's not camping, you're backpacking.
I would agree. So can you do backpacking and glamping at the same time?
If you bring a tablet.
If you bring a tablet, a Starlink Mini.
Yeah, maybe.
You are glamping backpacking.
You are glamping backpacking. You're a glamp packer.
Yes, glamp packer. All right, there you go. Anyways, a fun topic. We just love wasting time here with the fun, trivial things. Next up is Uncle Weirdo.
Uncle Weirdo. Long time, man. Haven't heard from you in a while.
Here we go.
All right.
Talk about zip ties.
Hey guys, how's it going? Uncle Weirdo here. I was just calling in. I listened to the episode where Jimmy, you were talking about the zip ties and how you found them to, I think, like color match or something like that. I thought that was pretty funny, but remind me of a funny kind of. Well, first off, you should always have zip ties. I've got some that are like 3 feet long for some stupidly extreme repairs or hold your pants up, whatever you decide to use them for. I don't know. I got them given to me, so I keep them on me anyway, at least a few. But you should always have zip ties on you. Those that don't, I have found so many uses for them. But the main reason why I called in was it kind of reminded me of a story when I first bought my side-by-side. I had it for maybe 2 months. Went out to the Samoa Dunes for the first time. Never been in the dunes before. And I was hitting these like kind of rolling hill, tabletop type deals. And it's just having a blast. A lot of fun. Just calling after them all. Jumping, land on top, cruising over. Well, I hit this one. And I didn't realize, given the angle I was at, that it had been washed away. And I didn't realize it until I hit the top of it. And of course, my bad reaction was to jam the brakes, which then caused me to go in the air and nosedive. And I hit I nosedived, bounced, at least I felt bounced on my nose and then flopped over on the driver's side. Had my wife with me. She's awesome. She literally just, I looked at her thinking, oh man, she's going to kick my ass. I just bought this thing. Had it for maybe a few months, and now she's going to kick my ass. But she was a good sport about it and just laughed and said, well, that was fun. Good thing you just put these harnesses in. I just put in the harnesses. But anyway, long story short, flipped it back over. I had a broken knuckle with the where the steering arm broke off the knuckle, and I had to use zip ties to put the steering arm back onto the knuckle. I used probably 10 or 12 zip ties to put it on, and it managed to get me back to camp. So there you go. That's one of many examples. I'm sure people have used zip ties while on the trail or off-roading. That one kind of got me out of a pickle, and I honestly couldn't believe it worked. I had to stop once, replace a couple, but it got me out of a tight spot. But talk to you later.
Zip ties are awesome, man.
Zip ties are awesome.
They're fantastic. I carry 20-pound zip ties and 120-pound zip ties. I don't carry any of the big 3-foot ones. The big 3-foot ones are like 400 pound.
Oh, wow.
350, somewhere around there. But I've had to reattach my hydraulic ram to my tie rod using zip ties before. So I used the 120-pound zip ties and put 15 of them or something out there. I calculated it out, and it was supposed to be, it was around 2,000 pounds of holding with all the zip ties, supposedly. And I was like, I don't know if that'll work. Got home just fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why use one when you can have 10 on there? Yeah. And that's sort of my thing. I was like, why does anybody need a 3-foot long zip tie when you can link them all together? You know, but the thing is, it's the pound strength.
Yeah.
I also I don't carry any of the really massive ones, but I do carry some metal zip ties.
Oh yeah.
And those are pretty impressive too. And those have a lot of strength behind them. But those are not reusable, like some zip ties are. So, zip ties are reusable. Yeah. If you want to take the time to do it, for sure. But yeah, color code zip ties, I thought it is pretty funny, and that's why I sort of did it. It's just stupid. You don't need Bobcat is now only have yellow zip ties on it everywhere I'm doing anything. That is pretty ridiculous and idiotic, but that's half the reason it's funny, and I'm doing it.
Perfect.
And I'll get another color for other rigs.
Yeah. As long as you're entertained out of your decisions, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
I might as well have just bought the variety pack and just separated the variety packs. Like, okay, the blue ones are going to go into Charlotte, and the yellow ones are going to Bobcat, and the red ones are going to Clifford, and just divided them up that way instead of searching out the specific colors and sizes.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Hindsight's 2020. Cool, man. So fun zip tie update.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got time for more.
Sure. One more.
Jason from Idaho.
Didn't
from
Idaho.
Just call earlier in this show?
Not this show.
Okay, here we go.
Tyler and Jimmy, this is Jason from Idaho.
Hi, Jason.
So I figured I'd call in. It's been about a year since I last called in. I'm a MERS, but wanted to hit on 3 topics. One, last year I called in and talked about hypothermia and how in the later stages people will actually shed clothes.
Yep.
And Tyler asked me why that was. Well, typically you won't find it too much in people because they usually pass out before they start stripping their clothes off. But for those that are still conscious enough, they will start stripping clothes because the body can no longer compensate for the cold weather, and it starts to just shunt blood away from the core of the body. The next one is about the camping, glamping, backpacking. I think the bigger thing is just get your butt outside and do something and have fun. Whether you like camping, whether you like glamping, whether you want to split hairs. I mean, a 10,000 milliamp battery, does that make you glamping, or does a below 10,000 milliamp battery make you backpacking, or make you a survivalist? I don't know. I don't care. I want to go out and have fun and enjoy nature, and I can do that through off-roading, through backpacking, or anything else. And last but not least, let's bring up the dreaded trail ratings. Just had a cop pull in behind me. Sorry. I think trail ratings, if you're going to rate them, you got to do it like they do for climbing rating, the Yosemite Decimal System, where it doesn't matter the difficulty of the trail is the difficulty of the trail. If you build a rig like Tyler where it's high so he can do the Rubicon or Fordyce, but he sucks when he goes to Moab and Sand Hollow, well, that's the risk that he took building it that way. Just like a rock climber, if they focus on power and not finesse or flexibility, they're going to be able to do one climb that's a one rating really easily, but they won't be able to do another climb that's the exact same rating because it requires different skills. And that's just that. So you got to build a rig that's best for what you like to do. And if it doesn't work for a 7 in Sand Hollow, but it works for a 7 in the Sierras, well, then you built a rig for the Sierras. So have fun, guys. Keep crawling. Just thought I might throw my 2 cents and maybe $3 in there.
$3 phone call?
All right.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm curious though, because I just don't know about the rock climbing world. If there are different routes that require different skill sets to climb, is that noted somehow in rock climbing ratings?
I don't have that answer.
Yeah, like
I do know that rock climbing has a decimal point rating. So it'd be like, I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's a decimal point, right? And then I don't know how high the other side goes, but I do know that it gets up to like 510, 511, 512s.
Yep.
And those are supposed to be some of the harder trails or obstacles. Yep. But I don't know if like a 4.7 is your power climber.
Yeah.
Or if there's, because I do know when you go to a rock climbing gym, there's different lines designated by different colors.
Correct. Yep.
And so, but when you're in the wilderness out in like climbing in Yosemite, I don't know if they like, there's not different chalk marks on the wall as you're climbing El Capitan.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is my answer to that?
Yeah. Cause he made an interesting point of that we hadn't really considered, if we build a vehicle for the Sierras and then it sucks in Moab, it still can do a difficulty trail in the Sierras versus a difficulty trail in the Moab. But then how do you tell me, the stupid person that built a high center of gravity, narrow vehicle that's going to Moab and sees a scale of 1 through 9 difficulty in Moab. And, if the California NorCal is 1 through 10 with Fordyce being the hardest one, I'm like, I can walk through Fordyce, no problem. I should be able to do an 8 or a 9 in Moab, no problem, but it's a completely different trail. How do you communicate that difference of trail in just the trail rating? Cause like if I was by myself going on Moab Rim with the Forerunner setup the way it was, I would be down at the highway dead. Like,
maybe. Yeah. I don't think the rating doesn't tell you. Like, yes, or in at least in the rock crawl climbing world.
Okay.
Until you start reading the reviews, like with the trade, like, oh, Moab Rim is rated an 8 or 9 or 7, 8 or 9 or whatever
7,
it is.
I think.
7.
Yeah.
But okay, why is it a 7?
Yeah.
And you have to read like, oh, it's off camera the like majority of the way up, and it's on a cliff's edge, and there's some sharp corners, and is it the Z turns on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Z turn obstacles, one of the, difficult with ledges. And so you have to read why.
Okay.
I don't know if you can say how in a number standpoint without saying like 4s mean, ledges, and 5s mean ledges, and
like is a 1 trail could be a forest road, a 2 trail could be granite boulders, a 3 trail could be off camber stuff, 4 trail is ledges and climbs.
Yeah. 5 is all the above.
And 5 is like all of them. But like, I don't know, the numbers aren't really necessarily saying how difficult it is. It's just the type of difficulty.
And maybe that is,
and then the second decimal says how difficult that is within that category.
Maybe. I don't know rock climbing.
That's why because like I don't know how rock climbing scales work. So is the first number like he was saying there's difference between power and finesse? That's a good point.
I mean, because I was gonna say like Zach from Oklahoma, you climb, you call in and tell us. Hell, let's just call Zach.
Call Zach real quick.
Should we?
We could. I know it'd be interesting.
Let's call Zach.
Okay, let's call
Let's
Zach.
see if he answers.
Hello.
Hey, is this Zach from Oklahoma?
Yes, it is.
Is this
Hi, Zach from Oklahoma.
Oh, hi.
Did we catch you at a
I
good
just
time?
got back from work. Yeah.
Nice. We have a question for you. We're actually in the middle of recording. We had a snail mail. Somebody call in, and we were like, we think Zach would know this answer, so we figured we'd give you a call.
Okay.
So
What's the question?
rock climbing. You're familiar with rock climbing, yes?
Oh, yes. I've been doing it for like the past 5 years.
Nice. So with rock climbing ratings, how does the rating system work in rock climbing? Because it's two numbers split by a decimal point, right? So what are those numbers telling you?
So there's actually two sets of numbers. There's a V rating, which is usually with bouldering specifically. Sometimes those V ratings can translate to like top rope or sport climbing. But that first number is probably not necessarily the steepness, because it's always going to be a 5 point something. So like there are 4 points, 3 points, but those are for more like hiking trails and scrambling stuff. 5 point whatever, like 5.7, 8, 9. Then you get like 5.7 A, B, or C. It varies. There's like different levels, and there's some controversy with some of the ratings, because some gyms, they won't even put the A, B, C, or D on stuff. They'll do plus or minus or just a neutral number. And the 5 is just the climbing, and then the higher the second number is,
Mm-hmm.
the more difficult it is. And then the A, B, C is just like a more finely tuned, like extra rating to it. So it's not like adding another decimal to it, but it depends, because some people use the A, B, and C, some people don't. And some people are like, give or take and stuff. Because like rock formations change over time. So like last year it might have been 1 rating, but because they had like a big rainfall or like erosion happened or a rock fell, kind of changes the rating up every now and then. So
okay. Yeah, because we had a listener say that you may look at one rock climbing route and do really well on it because you're really good at moving quick. But another route may be finesse, and they have the same rating, but you can't do the finesse route because you're just not a finesse climber. Is there a way that the ratings signal that out to somebody looking at a route to decide to do or not?
Sort of. So there is different types of holds, and some routes might be very crimpy, which would slow some climbers down. Some have like jugs or slopers, or like jugs are like really easy to grab onto. Slopers are kind of like, you could fall if you're not careful, if you don't have the right grip strength and stuff. And it varies, because they use some routes are going to have more dynamic moves, which are like pretty much jumping in some cases. Some of them are pretty static. So it varies, and I think at that point it's more up to the climber's judgment of how to do the route, because sometimes you might have a route up a wall, but there's multiple ways to do it and stuff. So like there's sometimes it's easier, sometimes people are like, oh, let's skip this part, see how this part works or something like that. But yeah,
so
something else to note is outdoor climbing. Sometimes they will sandbag it, which means whatever rating it says, it's actually harder than it actually is. So like a 5'11" or like a 5'8" outdoors is probably going to be a 510 or something like that.
Right.
So it varies.
Yeah, that it sounds like that it is. So, but is there a way to know, like if you're a finesse climber and you look at the rating, you'll know if that's going to be a good line for you or not?
Sometimes, depends on what kind of climbing you do and stuff. So it just varies.
So what about like looking
yeah.
at like bouldering versus top rope versus free climbing? Can you look at a route and say this route will be this difficulty with a top rope, but this difficulty with a free climb?
Sort of. So like the free solo stuff is gonna pretty much be the same rating as like the top rope or like sport climbing.
Mm-hmm.
The bouldering, on the other hand, because it uses a V rating, it does correlate. I forget where the correlation is for those, but they do translate, because sometimes you might have a top rope route that does incorporate styles of bouldering. Because bouldering, you don't need a harness. You're pretty much just climbing a rock and hoping that you don't fall too far, and usually like 16 feet up off the ground, or at least that's about the tallest I've climbed. Of course, you have a crash pad at the bottom to kind of help with things, and you have spotters. So like if you do end up falling slightly off the mat, the spotters push your momentum onto the mat so you fall safer and stuff. But sometimes there are some translations of like routes might have similar things between bouldering and top roping. Another thing to note is slabs change things drastically. So like slabs are generally harder, especially outdoors, because there's less to grab onto, and you just kind of have to hope that the footing's good and that the hands are good. So it varies.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we were trying to figure out, somebody made a good comment that, you know, if you build a rig for the Sierras, which would be, you know, high center of gravity, a lot of ground clearance, but you take it to Moab and you need low center of gravities and wide stances, very stable out in Moab. You're able to do 7 rated trails in the Sierras, but not necessarily 7 rated trails in Moab. And I'm like, well, yeah, but how would somebody who doesn't know Moab go to Moab and know that? And he made a comment about, being similar to rock climbing and different styles of rock climbing. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know if rock climbing tells people that in their ratings either. And I was like, maybe there's something we're missing with rock climbing ratings. So
yeah, it just depends. And I think it comes with experience and just researching of stuff. And usually, like, because me and my friends, we use the Mountain Project, which is an app made through REI to kind of help other climbers assess and figure out how those routes are and what to expect on them and other details that people might need to know or something like that.
Okay.
So it varies, and it varies on area too, because like not all rocks are created equally. Because like here in Oklahoma, we got the Wichita Mountains, which is granite, all granite rock. So like slices your hand open if you do something wrong. Whereas over in the Ozarks, they got a lot of sandstone. So it's like really nice, soft stone and really good to climb whenever it's dry. But when it's wet, super slippery.
Yeah.
And stuff. So,
okay. All right. Well, cool. Thanks for answering the phone and being a part of more trail rating talk.
Oh, you're welcome. I love to be a part of
it. All right. Thanks for chatting, Zach. We'll let you go with the rest of your day.
You too. All right. Y'all keep crawling.
Thanks, Zach. Bye.
Bye.
Well, there you go, folks.
Yeah.
There you have it. So funny.
It doesn't sound like it's easy to tell the difference. Between in the
different
scales.
styles of rock climbing. Yeah.
So
right.
we're
There you
still
go.
on the hunt for the answers.
Yeah, because like my whole thing is the whole point of trail ratings are for people who don't know better, right? If you
Correct.
do know better and you have a lot of experience, you're probably not caring about trail ratings. You're just going to go and have some fun, right? But for somebody who's brand new to the area, brand new to the trails, brand new to their vehicle, whatever, that's kind of the point of trail ratings, is to look at a trail and be like, can I do this?
Sure.
So I don't know. I still think there's a better way out there. I still don't think we've surely found it, but we're getting there. Keep calling in with all your trail rating information.
Oh no. Here we go.
I'm poking the bear. All right. I think that'll do it for today.
Yeah, I think so. Thanks all callers and Zach for answering our call.
Yeah.
That was fun. And you can always call us and leave a voicemail and be a part of Snail Mail at 916-345-4744. That phone number is down in the show notes for you guys, so you don't have to stop right now and write it all down, but you can grab it at any time.
Yeah.
Also, the phone does never, ever ring on our end. It doesn't ring. So you can call us at any hour. It just automatically goes straight to the voicemail, and then you can leave your voicemail, and then we'll play it, and we'll laugh at you and agree with you and be sad with you and be joyous with you.
And soon, apparently, we're starting a new segment where we call the listeners randomly.
That could be another can of worms.
Thanks again for being cool about that, Zach. All right. I think that does it. Anything else for everybody, Jimmy?
That's it for today.
All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday.
Bye-bye.
The number you have called has been disconnected.